7, 8, 9 men in the Eagles lineup due up here in the bottom half of inning number 12. Easton is 2 for 5 in the ballgame. He has reached on an error and scored a couple of times. Right fielder for Oklahoma Wesleyan. Ground ball, second baseman. Reed has it. Throws to first in time, and there's one man gone. That'll bring up Bryce McCulloch. McCulloch has singled twice in 4 trips. He's driven in a run and scored a couple of times. Right-handed hitting catcher working against Alex Mann, and Mann has now gone 3 2/3 innings of shutout ball, Jay, and he's been phenomenal out there.
Done a very nice job in relief, that's for sure.
He's given up 2 hits. One of them was of the infield variety. Breaking ball in for a strike. But you have to wonder, much like with C.J. Gregory, who looked to run out of gas after his lengthy outing, how much do you have in the tank if you're this closer for the Blue Jays? Pitch is foul to the backstop, and the count no balls and 2 strikes. But again, Mann does have a couple of complete games. But we were talking about this yesterday. That means that he has only logged 24 1/3 innings in his 18 relief appearances prior to today. So about an inning and a third, if you will. And today he has already gone 3 2/3. But sometimes adrenaline will carry you through an inning or 2 when you get into the World Series. Here's Mann's 2-strike pitch, ground ball. 1 hop as Baez backs up on the outfield grass, now throws low, and that one gets away, and I believe it wound up in the dugout. It did. So Baez will be charged with another error, and that is his 3rd throwing error in this ball game, Jay. And he did a good job to read that ball, and he backed up a step on the outfield grass to make the play, and I don't know if his feet got a little messed up as he came back to the dirt, but he short-hopped Seager and wound up throwing it in the dugout.
And Gunnar Joyce comes out to do the running out there at second base.
That's right. Joyce, the courtesy runner, is once again in the ball game in the 12th.
Gunnar Joyce has got good speed. He's stolen 21 of 25 bases, and I'm not alluding to the fact that he might try to steal third base. However, we have seen a team or 2 steal third, and with only 1 out, then you would only need a sacrifice fly if he were to get to third to win the ball game. Now that's all supposition.
I'm wondering if they're going to intentionally walk a man or not. Got something going on as Manship is being called back to the dugout, so he's going to be lifted for a pinch hitter.
Well, apparently Matt Parker has his designs on someone else, and whoever it is coming to the on-deck circle is one big boy.
Well, Manship was already lifted once and re-entered, so if he's taken out here, which he is, then he's out of the ball game.
I'm going to say that's Fernando Beltran just because of the size.
You are correct. I don't know why you're going to pitch to him, though. I would just put him on. You've got first base open.
The Ensenada, Mexico native steps up to the plate at 6 feet 4 inches tall, hitting .383.
That's another reason to walk him.
That's a big boy that's got a big stick in his hand right now.
He needs a base hit here that would potentially win it as the courtesy runner Joyce is out there at second base.
This is an interesting move here by Matt Parker.
First pitch, fastball off the outside corner, 1 ball and no strikes. Well, again, Manship was lifted for a pinch hitter, Cerrone, and then re-entered, so that burns Cerrone. And now Manship taken out of the ball game for the 2nd time, so he is gone as well. So if this game should extend to a 13th inning, we would have to have a new center fielder. Pitch to Beltran, line drive, diving catch by Seager for the out. My, oh my, what a play, and that ball was in fair territory. So if he doesn't come up with it, this ball game's over, Jay.
It was a very, very nice defensive effort.
Seager with a full-on dive toward the line. And I'll tell you what, you'll hear people get caught up in, well, you got to guard the line, it's the late innings. But the base hit right now is what you're trying to protect. So Seager's actually off the line as he should be. But because of that, he had to make the dive going back to the line to come up with it, and a heck of a play for out number 2. So here's Avery Flores, the shortstop. And Flores went around on a pitch in the dirt that was blocked by Dedeaux, and the count 0-1. Flores is up for the 7th time in the ballgame. He has reached on a fielder's choice, scored a run, driven in a run, and he's had a hit. So he's 1 out of 6. These are the kind of games that start to take a toll on the negative side of your batting average.
Yeah, exactly.
There are 25 hits in this ball game. But guy on deck's got 5 of them. Tabor would just as soon as see him in the 13th. As the pitch is a breaking ball in for a strike, and Flores is down 0-2. Got to imagine somebody's had 6 hits in a World Series game. Has his sign and the 2-strike pitch, breaking ball, ground ball, left side. Baez gloves it, throw to first, not in time. That's a base hit. Well, I tell you, you have to just kind of hold your breath every time now the ball's hit to Baez. He's thrown it away 3 times, and I'm not so sure he should have made a throw right there, as he had no chance to get Flores. So an infield hit, and now there are runners at the corners. And I realize that there's a big hitter on deck, but Butler has 5 hits, Jay. I'd think about walking him and setting up a force at any base.
Well, the run's going to win it, so you might as well get an out at every base, and I'm with you. The guy's got 5 base hits. You better be very careful pitching to this young man.
Well, and you also now have to worry about the breaking balls in the dirt here, because a wild pitch could bring home the winning run. The pitch to Butler, line drive, base hit, there it is. In to score the winning run is Joyce. And how about Jeff Butler with his 6th hit of the game, Jay? And don't forget the unassisted double play earlier. I told you if they wanted, he had to be the player of the game. Well, he has to be now because he just knocked in the game-winning run. And Oklahoma Wesleyan survives in 12 innings with a 10-9 victory. And it wasn't the prettiest game, Jay, but it might have been the most exciting game we've seen here in Lewiston this year.
It was entertaining. It matches the game of last night that also went extra innings and ended up to be a 1-run affair. And this one, I'm with you all the way. Jeff Butler gets the game ball, and the hard-luck guy has to be Gadiel Baez.
And he will tie Pat Mackey of Lewis Clark State's 1987 record. So a record that has stood by itself for 27 years, and Jeff Butler has just put his name right below it in the record book. He will share that honor with his 6th hit of the ball game, and more importantly, he drives in 5. How about that? Drives in half their runs in a 6-hit ball game, plus had the double play. Heck of a game for that young man.
Amazing, and a fun game to watch, and a fun game to be a part of, and a shame that you have to say goodbye to one of these teams, but the Tabor College Blue Jays now will have to make their way on home after losing their 2nd game in World Series play, and we have now whittled our field down to the final few here, my friend, and